Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So, people, I just wanted to talk about giving without expectation of receiving. Is anyone in? They say that, that's really mastering the art of life. I think there's a lot of freedom in that because at least you can avoid resentment, right? Or certainly the distress comes with expectation, an expectation that you're supposed to get something back because people will fail us every time. I mean, that's kind of why I know that God has to be my end game and that the footwork that I'm doing here is for the next realm, ultimately. I'm building my heaven. I'm really good about giving, but I am human and I get distressed when there's no reciprocation. And I don't mean a tangible gift per se. I just mean like when I give and give of myself, right? I'm just so willing to jump in, to help, to pick up this lacking, to fill in the gaps where others aren't capable. But when I'm in need, cricket, cricket, like people just aren't there either, It's very distressing. And so I think the message just always comes back to only give from the heart, give out of joy, give out of God's design, and know that that has to be enough. And that if anything comes back, it's just an added blessing because it often will not. So anyway, there's kind of a backstory to where that came from, which I'm not going to go into. When you can't see yourself until you turn on the camera, there's something bugging right here. But people, in real life, I'm sick. I know you're thinking, Jules, that cannot be true. You look vibrant and amazing. You guys are so good to me. Oh my goodness. Okay, here's my story. I'll keep it brief. So on Monday, I fell at Costco, but I didn't know why. I thought I tripped on something, but I didn't have any evidence of it. I just knew that I had fallen, and Tuesday morning I woke up dizzy and in pain, from falling, but dizzy. And I took a COVID test, just to kind of cover myself, and it was negative, yay God. So I went to school. Then yesterday was Wednesday. I woke up even more dizzy. And I just took another COVID test because I was like, what is the deal? I definitely have something. I made it through school. Then at 3 in the morning, I can't believe it was just last night at 3 in the morning, I woke up totally vomiting, to the point of dry heaves because I was so dizzy. I was like falling kind of to the right. I could barely make it to the restroom. I had to wake up my husband to help me. It was really bad. And then my husband had to work today. And so I just kind of laid low all day. Made lesson plans, sort of. Come on. I got sick at 3 in the morning. I had no idea. So with the help of my partner teacher, I kind of pulled something together. The day was terrible for my kids, but I was too dizzy to drive 100 miles. Let's be fair. So then tonight was, not only was it picture day, which I missed, but it was also back to school night. And luckily that was virtual, so I sat through that. And then finally I went to Kaiser and I went to acute care and they assessed me and basically decided that I just have vertigo, which of course leads to the dizzy, nausea, and everything else. Sadly, they just see me as a fat chick, right? A middle-aged fat chick. Yeah. So they don't give much credence to anything because I don't look like a healthy vegan person. They just figure I'm one more person who must have a ton of ailments. So just take the pills for dizziness, take the meds for nausea, and get through your day. And it'll subside in time. And they were totally cool with the idea that it could take weeks, if not months, excuse me, for me to get through. And I was like, that's a hard no. Sorry, my throat's still irritated from vomiting, which I absolutely hate. And I was like, that's a hard no. I'm going to be done with this very soon. And yes, it is unfortunate I have to miss school tomorrow. I can't stand missing school because for a teacher, it's just more work than it's worth. It's after midnight. I was up still doing lesson plans in resentment because I'm like, I'm really sick. And I hate that there isn't somebody who could just do this, or that my students can't just be lovely and respectful enough of a sub to just get through a basic day, you know? But whatever. And then I was supposed to go to one of my sister's birthday parties Saturday night, but it's down the hill and I doubt I can drive all that way, especially at night, unless there's a really miraculous turnover. But for right now, even as I'm speaking to you, I'm pulling to the right in my mind, you know? And I'm kind of asthmatic because of that dry heaving. It made me inhale so much that I had to use my inhaler. Like, it hasn't been lovely. But you're my best community, my JBV community, to just process things with, you know, and I'm happy to be able to do it. And I'm sure you guys recognize that we're just not going to receive the accolades and the gratefulness. Excuse me. It's a good sign that I'm even getting tired at this point. I mean, not only did I kind of have to sleep through the day, and I took some medication, which I never do anymore and haven't for years, but I just couldn't keep throwing up. But all my, hours are off. It's actually 1:45, and my husband has to get up at 4:30, and I will have the ability to care for the animals tomorrow, but today was a loss or a wash. I don't know which one I want to say. And I just want a prayer for my students to honor all adults, whether it's their actual teacher or a visiting teacher, whoever takes care of them tomorrow in my stead, because I have a right to sleep and get well, and I've got to do it. Anyway, love you guys. As always, if you like, join us if you haven't. Subscribe. Let me know in the comments below. Can you relate? Have you had vertigo? Do you know the insanity of the dizziness when you close your eyes? Do you know the feeling when people just don't reciprocate, And do you strive to give without expecting in return? It really is God's grace, and God can do it, and I just try to do it. I might revisit this topic again. In the meantime, pray for me, and best of all, know that you're blessed.